Hey guys, it's Christina Andino with the Jasinski Home Team at Baird & Warner, and this week's edition of House History, I'm here in Willow Springs. I'm at the home of Robin Shook and John Lynn at 108 Oakwood. This is one of the earlier homes in Willow Springs, and John and Robin were kind enough to share with me the history of their home. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. 108 Oakwood, built in 1888 in Willow Springs, Illinois, and owned by Elizabeth and Charles Davy, before being purchased for $1,000 by Irving and Emma Keller of the Willow Springs Kellers in 1906. If you are familiar at all with Willow Springs history, you will know that the Kellers were one of the founding families of the area, with various family members owning 5 houses situated where the Fisher Body and currently UPS are now. Only one of the 5 are still standing, and that one was moved up the hill on 79th Street. We will hopefully be doing an episode on that house in the future, and we can delve a little bit deeper into the Keller family. Emma sadly died in 1915, and Irving took their 2 young daughters and went back to his mother's house where all the Kellers lived in Willow Springs. He rented 108 Oakwood to several different families over the years, including some relatives, until his granddaughter Robin bought the house from her grandfather in 1974 and has raised her family there, living there currently with her husband John Lynn. Robin and I spent a lovely fall afternoon talking about the home and its history. And as I walked through the home, I was captivated by the amazing job that Robin has done preserving the beautiful historic charm and combining it with today's modern necessities. Sitting high atop the hill, it is truly a Willow Springs gem. Thank you to Robin and John for sharing the history of this very special piece of Willow Springs history. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of House History, and I hope you'll stay tuned next week when we're going to look at the Sidney Hart House, another historic home in Willow Springs that actually also the property right now belongs to Robin and John, whose house we just talked about. So stay tuned next week for another exciting edition of House History. See you next week.